Hey, future Angelinos, it's Chris and Johnny, your real estate. Don't talk when I'm talking. You always do that. I can't do this anymore! Just in case we want a different take to get to the opening.
I love that. All right, so today we are talking about the pros and cons of moving to Los Angeles. I'm so sorry about that. The pros and cons, it's like choosing to take the scenic route or being stuck on the 405.
So let's kick things off with the pros. Sunny Los Angeles, the weather, it's the reason you want to be in SoCal. Kiss rain and snow goodbye. They're fun, but only for a little bit. We get a touch of rain here and there. You can get to snow, but the weather is the reason to be here.
Yeah, it's like seriously a constant vacation. That's why people move here. That's why we pay a little bit more. It's worth it.
Another big pro, the diverse cultural tapestry, say that 10 times fast, that LA offers. It's a feast of art and food and all kinds of culture from all over the world that you get to experience without ever leaving the city you live in.
Yeah, and all of this is at your doorstep. There are so many different pockets of wonderful, wonderful individuality.
Anemone.
There's some pretty unique neighborhoods in Los Angeles. So whatever you're looking to do, there is a neighborhood for that. It's awesome.
So now let's talk about job opportunities. LA is a hub of industry from tech to entertainment. There's a lot of different industries that have headquarters here. And that means this is the place that dreams become reality career-wise.
Yeah, I mean, you're Googling pros and cons of Los Angeles. You might be thinking about moving here. So maybe there's a job opportunity. A lot of people come here for work. That's why we came here. It's awesome. The industry is incredible.
So reason number 3 is similar to reason number 1, the weather, right? But it's actually terrain. And here's what I mean by that. You can do something called the California Day here. That means I could start my morning skiing in the mountain. I could go have lunch in the desert in Joshua Tree, and I could end on the beach surfing by dusk. Where else in the world do you get to do that in one day?
Yeah, not only the nature, which is, granted, it's breathtaking, but the cities. You can go to downtown and experience the city life. You can go over to the valley and have a more suburban experience, or go to Hollywood, Beverly Hills. There are so many things to do. It's awesome.
Speaking of awesome food, the culinary landscape of LA is incredible. From food trucks to Michelin stars. I had dinner at a Michelin star restaurant and met Wolfgang Puck not too long ago. The experiences you can have here ranging from just tacos on the side of the street to the world's finest dining. It cannot be beat in any other city.
Yeah, and all of this is at your doorstep. Whatever you want, it's not that far. I went to Casablanca the other day, which is a Mexican restaurant themed.
Also
like
a place in the world that's not close to here.
Yeah.
All right, so all that's amazing, but let's balance this thing out a little bit. Let's do some cons.
Yeah.
And the first big speed bump we're gonna hit along the way as we travel through this journey, as we all know, is traffic. Oh, LA traffic. Let me tell you, it can be brutal. It can be okay if you learn to navigate the city, but when you first get here, you're gonna have some moments where you're in your car looking up the sky thinking, why God, why me, why this place?
It is the Achilles heel of Los Angeles. So plan your routes wisely. Don't go on the 405.
So traffic is kind of world renowned here, right? But the other thing you often hear about, which is true if we're going to speak of the challenges of here, is cost of living. The COL in Los Angeles is one of the higher ones in the country. It's not the highest. In fact, it's come down the list a little bit, but it's still very high comparatively. Compared to the national average, living in LA is about 2.5 times more expensive. So you definitely need to account for that. But again, like Johnny, whatever his name is, said, you are paying for the things like the weather, the access to these items. So that's where a lot of the prices get driven up.
Yeah, it's a high stakes game here, and budgeting is important. It's thinking about all of these things before you move, seeing what the best neighborhood and what the most affordable area is going to be for you.
Now, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the housing market, right? The housing market in LA, like many places nationally now, is very competitive. There are just more buyers than there are sellers here. There's an inventory shortage. You're seeing that in a lot of the bigger cities, especially the ones that got moved to during COVID. LA is actually one of those. I know some other California cities like San Francisco and such lost population. LA sustained a lot of that because a lot of those people came to places like Los Angeles. And so it is a very competitive market for leasing and for selling.
Yeah,
and buying.
And buying.
And also selling.
And also selling.
And leasing if you really think about it.
I've heard that
But
too.
mostly for selling and buying.
Yeah.
And also for leasing.
The market is very challenging. However, with a good team and a solid strategy, it's doable to find your dream home.
Another con to consider is weather. You're probably saying, wait a minute, wasn't that a pro? Yeah, it was. The one con would be, hey, we do have something here called earthquakes every once in a while. Florida has their hurricanes, Texas has their tornadoes. We have earthquakes. That's what we call those. We have earthquakes. They're not insanely common, but they do happen, which means if you're gonna move here, you should be prepared for those. You need to have a survival kit in your home just in case you get a temporary suspension in, say, water service. It's good to have some water lying around so that you have something to consume if you're in a scenario where you need it for a day.
Yeah, it's all about having a safety net. If you're prepared, you'll weather the storm.
And there you have it, a balanced look at the pros and cons of moving to Los Angeles. We are wildly biased. You should absolutely move to this beautiful town, but be prepared and knowledgeable on how you do it so that you've planned with budgets and with safety measures in mind.
Yeah, and if you want to explore the different neighborhoods of Los Angeles, I'm going to include some links in the description to check out some neighborhoods, see what maybe is the right fit for you. And then also, this is really important, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel, and I will personally be very grateful.
Everyone that likes, subscribes, and hits the bell gives him a high five in person, but you have to find us and then also tell us that you did all that and then prove it, and then we'll think about it, and you have to sign a waiver that says if he hurts you, it's not my fault. You can sue him.